Oh, hello. Okay, so someone asked me to make a kind of tutorial on how I make my Stickman animations, kind of like Yellow Stick, or the one they commented on, Maroon Stick. Yeah, that one. So how I make them is kind of like lime. So here's Lime Stick and all those. I can just show you how I made Lime Stick actually. Okay, so here is lime. This is not Lime Stick. Should not exist. Blah. Where is it? M% there. So this is Lime Stick right here. As you can see, this is how I made it. So let's make a new animation. It's called test for tutorial. There, let's do this. And at the moment, I set it to 12 FPS. We can stick with that for now, and we can get started. I can just make a simple black running animation, probably like crashing into a rock. So first, what we want to do is get a black. Actually, no, keep it clear for running scenes. Like this, and then on the fourth one, add a little black. And maybe this. And then as soon as he enters the screen, I think it's a little small. One sec, let me make it a little bigger. See, and then the movement of the legs makes sense. But first, we're making the head animation because it's easier to start off with the head and then move the body, then the arms, then the legs. It just seems easier in my case. Now, it seems to be running a lot, so I think we'll just put the rock over here. Oh, it's thunderstorming out there. So the head animation just keeps going and going. And the head animation never really changes until about here, when you can tilt the head this way to represent that he's going to bash his head through the rock. This is not the black stick animation. This is just a test. Black stick is different. Also, make sure to watch every other stuff, too. I'm still working on this. So he appears to be now at the rock, and I'm going to tilt his head again. And he's going to break his head through a rock. And about after 4 frames-ish, maybe 5 if you want, then you can return his head back to circular. And maybe slow his head this way, so to mention he's slowing down, and he's back to normal. And then I guess I do this, and I just keep the head the same, or around the same shape, until the 30th frame, which is normally where I stop for most of my animations, but the next ones won't be the same. Trust me, green stick is already way too long, but that doesn't matter. So this is the 30th frame at the moment. So here's what we have. As you can see, there is a big skip right here. See this, that, and then that. I think that's okay. Now we enter this part. So now we can move on to the sprinting of the movement of the body, which is very simple since it's just a singular thing because it's just moving. This one, abrupt ones can like go a little smoother, but that one wasn't very abrupt, so he can just keep running. So this one is very abrupt, but it's because he's gonna ram his head against the wall, so I guess it's completely fine. Now this part, he's just like diving through it, which makes it really hard to draw, but now it's just him bending his body to slow down. So kind of like this. And now it's back to normal with just a straight body. You know, that's how all of the animations end, except for Lime Stick though. So now we have body movements too. Seems pretty normal. Next we have arm movements, which is really it's really annoying when it's doing a running movement. And then I make it smaller. Like, the arms have to be, like, kind of smoother. What in the... I think I did something wrong. Question mark. Okay. Where were we? Here. There. So you can see that the arms are not very rigid, as they kind of move in a very smooth pattern of moving arms up. So kind of like this, then this, then this, then kind of like this, and then this again. It's kind of like a loop. Yeah, that's how arm movements mostly work. Unless you want it to be like a frozen animation. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Oh, come on. It always happens. There we go. Now you can see that the arms are starting to like sag down as he is going to go through a wall. And they're getting closer to his body to make it more spiral. You can see now that it's starting to slow down. Now you can see I'm just making the frozen movements that aren't very frozen in my case, but meh. Now, where were we? Right, the leg movements. These ones are really hard, but once you get it correctly, then you don't really have to worry anymore. As you can see, look, the legs go like this. See, they're kind of like together at this point, and then they split off again. And then back to the wide position. It's kind of like the same thing with the arms, but it's at the bottom part, and they have to make weirder movements. So I'm just going to keep doing that until we reach the head banging thing, in which, see here, you have to kind of move the legs back, kind of like this, and then like jump, and then make a jumping scene like that. And then you kind of make the legs like kind of spiralize like this, kind of like when you're like lying down or like thinking you're Superman. Then reach this point. Oh, I didn't do the arms for this one. Let me do that. So we did this. And then since the legs kind of move a lot at this point, like that, kind of looks like this, and it slows down, and then it kind of does this, and then that, and then back to the normal position that we do for the rest. Now we have this part ready, the black's running animation, kind of like this. So now we can work on the rock part of this. So the rock's always been there, so we can just do this. Get the gray part about here and draw a vague shape of a rock, kind of like that. We're actually, just for our sake, let's just do this. It's a lot smoother, and I think we'll just make it a square, to be honest. It's a lot easier. Yeah, I'll make it a square. It's a very big square rock. Now what I do is take this and copy the color, like that. It's this kind of copy color tool right here that's holding on. That's really highlighted black on the top right of the color wheel. That one. Now I can click on the center and it'll change to that color. You can also add highlights to make it not look so bad sometimes, because FlipaClip is really kind of bad at filling in colors. So now we have a kind of cube. Now we can click this one to copy it and paste. It won't affect the black stick though, so it's completely fine. See? It's just adding that same thing again. So I'm going to keep pasting it until it reaches the point where he starts crashing into it. Just around, not here, but more. Let's hope it's soon. Yeah, I got the point. Yeah, I got it perfectly fine, actually. When he touches the rock, that means we can't copy it anymore. So now I go like this. See this? Like that. And I can make a higher pixel and make it kind of like this. Now the rock has to break into multiple pieces as after the rock is kind of gonna break apart. Now the back will break apart because of reasons. And you can all make it into a scramble. Like this. And it breaks down into pieces and hits the ground. And kind of just stays there, and then it just disappears. So it kind of looks like this. And for the last few, yeah, I do this. Watch. If I get black again, since the rock is done, I can do T, E, followed for naming, like T, E, S, T. I'm going to make it kind of like moving around like this. And T, E, S, T. Now that this kind of thing is done, I can put it to 10 frames per second and save. And now look. It looks kind of cool, right? Very fluid, just a little slow. So you can increase the frame rate to make it look nicer. It'll just be a little shorter. So I kind of like put it to 12 frames, which is the average. You know, it looks still nice, right? So that is how you make a FlipaClip animation. For Stickman. This guy. And that's it. Goodbye.